Let's make a custom initial ring, except this time we're going to be making it out of sterling silver. So we do need to ditch our original setup because we are going to be working with fire today. So here's the wire that we're going to be working with. This is the same wire that I use for thick stacker bands. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that to size, which, by the way, you guys do order this ring pretty often. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for that because I genuinely do enjoy making this ring so much. When I first launched it, I was really worried that it was going to just be a piece that was too overwhelming to make. And I thought it was one that I was going to have to discontinue. But after making so many of them, it thankfully ended up being way more okay than I thought it was going to be. And again, this is one of my favorite rings to make. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about the making process. So right now we're just prepping the ring for solder. I cut the metal and filed it, and now we're adding on what is called flux. This is just going to help protect the piece from fire scale while also helping the solder flow. Now, speaking of solder, this is a little piece that we need. I'm going to go ahead and place that by the seam and then heat it up until the solder flows. If you look closely, you can see exactly when it does flow. After this, I'm going to grab the ring with my tweezers and go ahead and quench it. That way it cools off immediately and we can keep on working without getting burnt. Next, I'm going to place the ring onto the ring mandrel and hammer it out until it's a perfect circle. And then eventually it's going to go into what is called a pickling solution. This is just going to help clean off any fire scale on the ring. At this point, there is still excess solder on the ring. So I'm just going to go ahead and file that off on both the outside and the inside of the ring. Then we're going to grab this sandbag. This just helps absorb the loud noise from the hammering. And then I'm also going to grab our ring and put it back on the ring mandrel. And then I'm going to hammer out a portion of the ring until we have a portion of it that's wide enough to stamp an initial. So here's what it looks like so far at this point. As you can see, it is a little dented up, but that's okay. We're going to fix that later. Right now, we're just going to focus on stamping the initial, so I'm going to go ahead and grab our letter stamps and grab the letter L. Here's what the stamp looks like. I'm just going to stamp that right into the middle of the section that we hammered out. I did stamp this off camera just because sometimes it's very difficult to stamp these rings, but here's what it looks like with the initial. As you can see, the ring is looking a bit rough, so we do need to go in with multiple different sanding discs, which here's what those look like, by the way, and we need to go all the way up to a 2000 grit. That way we could get out any major imperfections while also getting the ring to a nice shine. Next, we're going to throw the ring into the jewelry tumbler. This just helps get out minor imperfections while also bringing a shine to the ring. And then once the ring is done tumbling, we are on to the last and final step, which is going in with 2 different polishing compounds. And same thing as the jewelry tumbler, the polishing compounds just help get out minor imperfections while also really bringing a shine to the rings. And here's the final reveal of the ring. As you can see, after all the sanding and the tumbling and the polishing, it is much shinier and is perfect and ready to wear.